So instead of saying from grace to grace, I will say I've moved from a particular level of grace to a higher level of grace. Why am I saying this? Or why have I learned this? Frankly, for being alive is one big grace, because if you are saying you are on the grass or in the grass or under the grass, and suddenly you now moved from grass to grace, that means being alive, you don't count it as something great. So since you are alive, you can just say you are under the grass or on the grass or in the grass. Rather, be grateful for being alive. So that's one of the reasons I've stopped saying that I am moving from grass to grace, because I was never in the grass. That is a particular great level of grace. Second reason why I should stop, and I will advise you stop saying you are moving from grace to grace, is because for you to have the memory, the capacity, the ability, the brain to do something great, to do something good, no matter how late you are moving. Even the tortoise moves slowly and slowly and slowly, yet it gets to its destination. So the target is the destination, the goal. Did you actually achieve that? If you did, yes, you have been in the grace. You were never in the grass, because you don't just start flying. Rome wasn't built in a day. They started gradually. So they can say they were in the grass. No, they have been in the grace. They have been on the grace. The grace has been covering them. That's why they have the ability, slow and steady, no matter how speed, no matter the pace, and they go to where they are today. Next reason why I will stop, and I have stopped saying that I'm moving from grass to grace, is this. Because being healthy, your health is very, very important. Fine, if you're not healthy and you said you're in the grass, good. But if you're healthy, and even if you're ill, yes, that's the cycle of life, and you finally come out of it, is a grace. So will you say that you're in the grass because you're ill? What about people that died because they are ill? They are the ones in the grass because they are dead. The illness killed them, but it didn't kill you, so you are in the grace. And you move from that particular grace of being, sick and recovering, to another grace of standing firm and doing something important and something good. Another reason why I will say that I have not been in grace, but I have been in grace, is number one, there are those you started with. One reason or the other, they started somewhere, not to say they are not trying. Yes, their grace is different. But your own grace catapulted you, moved you, projected you from that particular level of grace to another grace. You will still open your mouth and say, you were in grass, you were under the grass, you were on the grass, and now suddenly you are in grace. No, those days you were still in grace, and you've moved from one grace to another. I've seen some pictures, some people bringing two pictures together, when I was in the grass, when I was on the grass, and suddenly now I'm in the grace. And you'll be like, no, brother, no, sister. You've been in the grace. You've been enjoying the grace. Okay, I don't know about this. The grace and the fellowship, the love of God, has been covering you, has been covering me. And I will still feel ungrateful by saying, I've been in the grace. And suddenly now I'm in grace. No, it is from grace to grace. I repeat, it is from grace to grace, not from grass to grace. You were never in grass. You have been in grace. Though it might be a particular level of grace that you don't want at the moment, yes, you work for it. The ability to even work, to move yourself from a particular grace level to another grace level is a grace. Yeah, because some people, I'm not trying to condemn anybody, yes, they have opportunity of doing things, but they choose to sell their properties, their inheritance. Yes, they have grace to possess those possessions, but how did they manage it? Now, they sold it all, used the money, and you that is in a particular grace where you don't have that particular grace that they have, suddenly came up, picked up, God helping you, came to a particular grace. You will still open your mouth and say, thank God, I just moved from grace to grace. I think it's being ungrateful. It's being really, really ungrateful to say that all this grace you were enjoying, your health, your life, the grace to pass your exams. I've seen someone that studied over the night, coming to exams halls, his brain went blank. He couldn't see anything, he couldn't understand any question. Yes, But you understood your questions. Fine, you made 50, it's a pass. Yes, you made 60, it's a pass. Someone made 100, it's good. But you are not in the grass because you didn't fail. Okay. In the news 3 days ago, some medical student from Abia State University, after so many years in the school, were involved in an accident. They lost their lives. Now someone else who is, alive, possibly failed his last MBBS exam or second MBBS exam and repeated 1 year, will not say he's been in the grass. No! You're not in grass, bro. You're not in grass, sister. You were in a particular level of grace. So the grace you request, you pray for, because God is our Father, He's our Dad, yeah? My children will once tell me that you have money. I will say I don't have money. They will look at me, Dad, look at me. You have money. Now, I'll be like, okay, I have the money. Yeah, we say it. That is faith. We say it and see it coming. And before you know it comes. But when you now start saying, I was in grace, and now I'm in grace. And that grace you are, maybe tomorrow you'll be in a higher grace. You will still say again, I am in grace now. Now, you'll be like, I don't know. So if there's a spirit following you, the angels will be like, this guy said he was in grace in 2010 and 2020 is now, he's in grace in 2010 and 2020 is now in grace. And by 2030 he's now in a higher grace. He will not still say, 2020 I was in grace again. No, bro, you've been in grace. Your growth has been in grace. Your development has been by grace. Everything you do has been by the grace. So I want you to learn today to join me and stop saying you have been in grace. No, it's grace all the way. From one level of grace to another level of grace to another level of grace to a higher level of grace. It is grace all the way. So grace is what we'll be saying now, not grass anymore, bro. Good morning. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend and may God bless you. Thank you for following us. It's not been easy, but we thank God. It's been God all the way. It's been God all the way. One of these days, I believe God will make ways to make things happen for us so that we don't just regret what we are into. They are the forming stage. Good don't just become good, Good, you purify good to be the pure good. Yeah, I was once involved in mining. Okay, if you get the lead, if you know the processes of getting a lead, when it's finally a lead, a pure lead, yeah, that's when it's a lead. But you can say that when it's still in a mixed form, it's not a lead. No, it's a lead. The percentage is a lead. You purify it to get your 100%, 80%, 70% of lead. It's still lead. So if you now mix it up when it's still 30%, 40%, you now say it is not lead, it's sand. That is what we say. No, it's lead. Yes. Then the stage of the lead is not at a particular level that you want it. Later, you come up to a better stage. Thank you.